I don't drink soda.
Yeah, the camera has been activated. It's been activated for a long time, actually.
Oh, shit.
Camera's been activated ever since you got here. I got a lot of things that you probably don't want to be told.
Not that. Not that thing I said about them.
And I'm going to put it in a special file.
Not that thing I said about them. We can't. No.
The one.
You're going to get me canceled.
Oh, it's there. Hey.
You know what?
Hey.
Cancel culture.
Hey, if you play your cards right, no one's going to see it.
It could work to my benefit, honestly.
Oh, you mean...
You drop it, and at first people are angry. They're like, yeah, that was offensive. That was disrespectful.
It's probably going to be their first response.
And then, but then the trolls are gonna flock to my defense, and they're gonna be like, nope. And then, a couple other people will get canceled, and then eventually everyone's gonna like circle back and be like, you know what? Like, hey, he's uncanceled, and then I'm good to go.
I'm better than you think that's how it's gonna go?
I'm better than it. No.
Do you really think that's what's
it
gonna happen?
It hasn't gone like that for Kanye.
No, it really hasn't. But nobody's gonna see what I have as long as everything's cool, as long as you play your cards right.
All right.
Which is you be part of the heist. Okay. You work with Jerry.
No, I can't.
Alongside Jerry. And you also deal with Smart Plug and his bullshit. And he brought a friend.
Smart Plug is fine.
There's another guy here.
That's just a regular plug.
Are you sure?
Smart Plug, I've made my peace with Smart Plug. He's not going to say faggot. He's not going to say the F word. Can you cut that?
I can cut that.
You can cut.
I actually have to cut that.
Bleep it.
Yeah, I have to.
He's not going to say that word, and you got to look at context, right? Like
Kanye.
Context and Kanye.
Oh,
I mean, you don't got to look at Kanye.
You don't got to look at
or
Kanye.
His wife, but you got to look at the context in which I said that. I was quoting something that Smart Plug had infamously said.
Oh, so it's okay as long as you're quoting it.
I mean, I don't know, but it's
better.
It softens it. It cushions
it is better.
It cushions
it is better. So, yeah, you have to work with everybody, and this video won't come out, and we'll be good. And we actually won't even release this, so people won't know that there is something that I have against you. Okay?
If we can make it to where, if we can plan this thing to where my interaction with Jerry is non-existent, I don't have to see Jerry. I don't have to work directly with Jerry. I mean, if Jerry in a roundabout way is part of the heist and it doesn't involve me, I don't have to hear his voice.
Yeah.
I don't have to look at his dumb face. I don't have to take orders from him in any fashion. I don't have to smell him. He sometimes smells bad.
Yeah, true.
I basically, if for all intents and purposes, I have no involvement with Jerry, and for all I know, he really wasn't part of the heist. I mean, even if he was, I had so little involvement with him to where his presence, did not pop up on my radar at all. Hey, let's go, baby.
All right, well, we can make that happen.
If at any point in this heist, Jerry and I's paths cross, in any sort of manner, I'm just going to quit. I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Okay.
Is that a deal?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Because if you quit and you go home, then I release the video that I have. So
can we just minimize my involvement with Jerry?
Yeah, we could. No, yeah, we could do that.
Like, we
can do that.
All right,
we could definitely do. Oh shit!
I mean, honestly, I don't even want to see his car parked out front. I pull up here, and I'm in a good positive mind frame.
Oh no, he has his own
ready to do the show.
He has his own parking in the back, VIP parking.
Okay, well, sometimes I can, like I said, I can smell Jerry. I can smell his car. If we can make it to where he's parked down the street to where
he has, that he has one of those cars that's converted to run off of used vegetable oil.
That sounds par for the course for Jerry.
So we're gonna smell his car.
I need to not. His presence needs to not alert me, because right now, I pulled in here and I was in a good mood. I was ready to do the show. I was ready for this heist, ready for everything, ready to go. Possibly it would have been my best performance ever. And I get here and just instantly the vibes of Jerry, which I don't know if it's in the air via the smell.
It's in the air.
It's whether it's, in the air from him speaking.
I can smell it.
I mean, somehow the essence of Jerry very quickly turned my mood. And now it's like,
well, hey, it's all right. He's not going to be here for the show. We don't have to worry about Jerry showing up. So just relax.
Okay.
We'll start off at square one. We'll take it from the top. We'll cut all this stuff out.
He's not here. He's not here.
He's not
here.
So we don't do the countdown anymore. Season 8. Welcome to season 8 of the show that we can't say still.
Fuck.
My name is Mikey.
My name's Ty.
You know the name of the show. We're allowed to still put it on the feed, but we can't say it because of the stuff with Disney, but we're working it out. We got this heist. We're almost got all of our ducks in a row.
Yeah, and the heist that we had laid out previously, that's not even the heist
Fake
that we're
heist.
doing anymore.
No, that's fake heist.
We're just trying to, get them off the center of our trail. So Disney, you think you're one up on us. You're not one up on us. We're one up on you. And we're gonna get this thing done. And we're gonna get in that vault. We're gonna get Fox and the Hound.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that racist one, the Sounds of the South, the Sounds of the South that Disney doesn't want. No, but I figure we can use it for blackmail
Hold
down
it
the
against
line.
them?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we're not going to watch Sounds of the South.
No,
I mean, no.
No, yeah. Hold it against. I know all about that. Hold it against them as blackmail. We're gonna go get all that stuff out that vault, and nobody knows how we're gonna come and do it, but better believe we're gonna do it. And when we do, we'll be back to saying our name again. But until then, you're just going to have to read it.
You know what it is. I mean, I can't imagine we're getting any new viewers at this point.
Yeah, because we've been shadow banned completely by Disney. And did you know that YouTube changed their qualifications for monetization?
No. They make it harder?
It used to be, I remember it was 100 subs. And then
I don't think it's ever been 100 subs.
It became 1,000 subs. 1,000
subs when we were on the road to 1,000. They upped the ante now?
And you also have to have 4,000 hours of watch time a month or something like that.
Like we get the watch time, don't we? No?
Yeah, we have the watch time.
We have the watch time. We just don't have the subs because of Disney or because of YouTube. Someone's to blame.
But they just recently changed it. And they said, look, we'll let you monetize at 500 subs, which we have. Road to 500. We made it. So I went in there.
So what's the problem?
I said, I would like to apply for a partnership program, please. They told me that our page isn't eligible for the partnership program. And they didn't say why, but it's most likely because of our permanent community strike that will never go away.
One strike? Are you serious? Over the 9/11 meme?
The 9/11 meme. Yeah, which I didn't even post publicly. This was a private video that I just uploaded to YouTube so I could rip it onto my phone. That's all it was. And permanent strike forever. They'll never forgive about that.
I can't even fathom. Yeah, I mean, completely. This show is basically. We might as well cancel the show, but we're not going to do that. But
can't.
I still I can't fathom the fact that some of these YouTubers are able to just run amok, post whatever content they want, and get paid handsomely, and we can't even just get a couple of dollars to cover our fucking time.
I saw there was this Reddit page that was people that were starting out on YouTube and were looking for advice from people that had been in YouTube for a long time. It was like a advice thing, right? And somebody had posted on there. She was like, why isn't my page getting any traction? Why am I not getting any views on this? And she posted, sorry. Excuse me, sorry. She posted a link and a bunch of screenshots of her YouTube channel, which was like tales, like fairy tale type things that were animated.
Okay.
And they were all done by AI. She would just give the story to
so she's just tossing prompts
generator
into Sora or whatever. Yeah, okay.
And she's getting, 2 views here, 5 views there. And she's like, what's wrong? And
Your
everybody's like,
is wrong.
It's because you're making AI videos.
Because you're
people
just
don't want to
making
watch
bullshit.
that.
Who wants that?
But then there's a bunch of other people in that feed that are like, I do it and it's great. And they'll share their channel, which is AI videos that are made off of some AI written script. And they're getting millions of views on their videos. So sometimes it'll catch. You just make all this AI stuff, which you have the rights to anyway. You have the creative rights to it.
Yeah.
You upload it, you monetize it, you make all kinds of money. You're just chilling. You're doing nothing. And now that they have the new GPT that can do actions, you can tell it to like buy me tickets to Nosferatu at 9:30. And it can open its own internal browser in GPT
and input all your info and
go to the
execute
website,
tasks.
put in your info, schedule it, buy the tickets, check out, and then it just makes you verify for the purchase, like at the very end. But it does all the legwork for you.
Yeah.
So you can just give this one, if there's no purchase involved, if you're just getting a prompt, putting it into a video generator, uploading it to YouTube, you can just have this AI do that for you.
All of it.
You don't even have to touch it. You just put it there, walk away, and just make money.
So in theory, are we approaching a territory where you can just be like, hey, AI, I want you to make me a video about the history of the Utah Jazz in the playoffs, something, like specific that has its niche audience.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to create this video from scratch and then upload it for me. And that's basically all the work, the grunt work that I have to do is just come up with that prompt.
Yeah, you just have to come up with the idea for the prompt. You don't even have to write the prompt.
I mean, I don't know that people should be getting paid for that, but at the same time, why are some people able to monetize that and why are others not?
Yeah, why are we never allowed? Because
there's this
never forget
this class system, I feel like, and I don't know what it's based on. It's like an algorithm based class system, but some people seem to be able to achieve viral success far easier than other people.
Mm-hmm.
People like you or I who have been struggling on this road to 1K. This we have this brass ring that's been dangled above our heads. Say you just got to reach 1,000 subscribers, and then you're going to be able to cash out and at least see some monetary success.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lower that. But at the same time, we lowered it, but no, you're still not good enough.
We lowered it, but it's covered in Crisco.
What about us, YouTube? Yeah. What about us, Google?
What about us?
What about us? Do you think that this is related? Because Google owns YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this is related to the time that we infiltrated the Google campus? We went up to San Jose, and we went to the Google campus.
Yeah, that did happen.
We were kicked out of the Facebook campus, and we went over to the Google campus, which was far less secure. And we kind of just strolled around and kind of made our way through this thing. And I don't know that things have ever been the same since that day.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
You've got to wonder. I mean, with all the technology that they have, they Face ID'd us. Mm-hmm. They linked us to the profiles that we have.
And they stopped us from becoming viral.
We were put on a blacklist that prevents us from ever going viral.
Yeah. But we're going to try to break out of that with versus something, which is why we're not going to use our full names.
Can we even say versus something? Is Google that
going to tie us together?
They're going to tie. They're the same two faces. They're saying this.
Well, our last episode was us coming up with all the ideas for versus something. So I think it might be too late.
We're gonna have to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe we shouldn't call last week's episode. We shouldn't have called that versus something. We should have called it new show coming soon.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't show up in search. Because when we go listen to versus something, people look it up. This old show from our old podcast is going to show up.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No. So we got to change the name of that stat.
So yeah, we're trying to get a fresh start with versus something. So be sure to head over to the social media pages. We've got so far.
Go ahead.
We've got YouTube versus, they're all versus something, so it's nice and easy to follow us across platforms. We got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on TikTok while you can, because God only knows how long we're going to even have that. Facebook, all the obvious ones. So please support this new venture that we've got going. We should have the first episode to you within a couple of weeks from this dropping. Mm-hmm. So really, that's our only way. That's our only path forward, because as of right now, Natural Habitat Podcast seemingly has been stopped, right in our tracks by this YouTube algorithm that's blocked us.
I got to call Jerry real quick.
No. See, this is what I'm talking about. No, you're bringing his essence into my presence. I don't want Jerry's essence in my presence. Are
you rapping?
Does that seem reasonable?
Hey, Jerry. I need you to change the name of the episode of last week's show from versus something to something like new podcast coming soon. Yeah. We don't want it to. We don't want people to be able to search versus something and then show that. Yeah, he's here. Yeah, he's right here. No, I don't want to tell him that you want to talk to him because then he's probably gonna break my phone. He's not gonna want to do it for sure. He actually has his ears covered and he's singing right now. Okay. Yep. Bye. All right, we're done.
All right.
He wanted to talk to you.
You know how that would have went.
Yeah, I don't know why he would want to talk to you, but he wanted to talk to you.
Who knows?
So yeah, versus something. It's gonna be lit. You guys got to go subscribe to that. You have to tell your friends. You have to tell your family. It's a family show.
Yeah. If you didn't catch the last episode, this is a brand new game show style show that we're presenting to you. Basically, where we take two pieces of content, pop culture content, which may or may not be related to one another, and we pit them against each other in a trial style showdown, where we each present evidence arguing for or against this said pieces of content, and then you guys you complete some sort of poll or sound off.
You think of us as the attorneys.
Yeah.
We're giving our evidence, opening statements, closing remarks.
I'm kind of like Johnny Cochran over here, the slick talking, big money. We probably gonna win attorney, and then you've got
Funky
Mikey,
Baloo.
Which
is a local eccentric
just kind of
we have around here.
Unkempt, doesn't really have all his facts straight, more than likely gonna lose, and we're gonna pit these two together, and you guys are the jury, so we're gonna need your participation for that. But we also need you to support this new show so that we can get monetized and eventually just make cheap AI content that we pump out weekly for monetization.
We can make this show with AI easy. So we need you to support, and by support I mean monetarily. We need you to monetarily support that show. So we have a lot of exciting things going on.
I mean, yeah.
The Grammys just happened.
The Grammys happened, yeah.
But
do you normally follow the Grammys?
No, I don't watch the Grammys.
See, I'll typically check out like who wins the rap categories, because really that's the only contemporary music that I still actively follow. Like most of the rock music and other genres I'm listening to are decades old. Yeah. But whereas rap, there's still a decent amount of current rap that I'm listening to. So I followed that. I followed it for Kendrick Lamar won several Grammys.
For 5,
Not Like
I
That.
think.
Did he win 5?
Yeah.
Shit.
So I heard 3 at first, then I heard
3.
4, and then my last one was 5 that I heard.
I mean, that's wild.
And I saw him in his Canadian tuxedo with his arm full of trophies.
Yeah, he cleaned up.
Yeah. And still pushing shots at Drake at the very end.
I mean that's wild. Like to win so many Grammys off of essentially a diss. I mean, not essentially. It very much was a diss record. For a diss record to achieve that kind of critical success is just. I mean, it's something that I wouldn't have pictured. Had you even asked me.
No.
Early last year, would that
wasn't
be
on my 2025 bingo card.
Right?
Yeah. People say that.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Grammys were crazy. Jaden Smith wore a house on his head.
I don't know, like, a single thing that Jaden Smith has done aside from being, born as the offspring of Will and Jada Smith, that would necessitate him wearing any sort of outlandish costume to the Grammys. Like, I feel like Jaden Smith, sit your little bitch ass down. Stop trying to bring attention to yourself. Like, you haven't done a single thing that warrants you wearing a fucking anything off to the Grammys. You should just be dressed in your Sunday's best. Be glad to even be there, Jaden Smith.
And just be respectful.
What have you done to wear a fucking big house on your head? Like, if you haven't seen the pictures, go Google it, because I can't describe it.
Yeah,
this guy's got like
a big black house.
He's got like a big house on his head.
Yeah, and his face is the doorway.
And he's got no expression anytime he's shown.
This guy's always been like really eccentric and weird.
We get it. He's out there. He's gifted.
But that's too weird. That's not even a thing. Yeah, people don't wear houses on their head.
He just comes across as so pretentious.
He's a Wicked Witch of the West.
And it's just like, like I bet nobody even like was trying to ask him why he was wearing that. They're just like, yeah, that's great, Jaden Smith.
Wow.
Like, we don't want to hear your reasoning for
they
this.
Didn't even say like, oh, what a statement. They were just like,
they're like,
whatever.
Let's move on to something else.
But more importantly than all these people and celebrities, Kanye showed up with his wife.
Yeah, he
wife.
showed up with his robot wife, and he removed her clothing, and she was just butt ass naked, which is very on brand for something Kanye would be doing in recent years.
And then they got kicked out, I heard.
Yeah. I don't think they were invited.
No.
So I think they just showed up and were able to roam the red carpet area just off of Kanye being Kanye.
Yeah.
But then, like, when it was time to enter the award ceremony, they're like, Kanye, you weren't invited this year, and your previous behavior at Grammy ceremonies has been concerning, to say the least. You have a history of interrupting the ceremony, so I don't think that we have room for you, Kanye.
And then the fact that Taylor Swift presented a Grammy to Beyonce and Kanye West got kicked out.
Yeah, Kanye would have rolled up on that. He would. Well, I don't know.
That was a flip flop, because didn't he roll up on Taylor Swift and was like, Beyonce should have won this? Yeah,
that was a VMA. So I guess it's slightly different. VMA is less prestigious, obviously, but still, like he rolled up when Taylor Swift won the Video of the Year. He rolled up and said, Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Like, I'm not taking anything away from you, Taylor. But then he proceeded to take away her acceptance
literally
speech.
Take away. Yeah. So that was a nice turn of events for that. But even more importantly, Daniel from Salem, a character that we've talked about years ago on the show.
Yeah, so this may have predated my presence on the show weekly, because I don't remember ever talking about this.
You don't remember Daniel from Salem at all?
You showed me before we started the show, but I don't really remember him.
So he had these music videos back in the day. It was like, one was Katy Perry's Boobies.
It's very much like an emo style rap, like
rock
almost
rap.
Like, do you know who Falling in Reverse is?
Yeah.
Kind of in that ilk, I would say. Like, I'm not really tapped into that genre, so I don't really know the best comparison, but that's what it immediately, drew comparisons for me for was the Ronnie Radke guy from Falling in Reverse, who I've only been made aware of, very recently, but apparently he's kind of, but then this guy was also a little bit more goofy, a little more, like,
You didn't really take him as seriously.
Yeah, Falling in Reverse seems to take themselves very seriously. I think it's just one guy, but
this guy was almost like a comedy, especially back in the day. He had a song called Starbucks where he was like, "I'll take you on a date to Starbucks."
You know what he reminded me? Are you familiar with? I don't know if he's still active, but MC Paul Berman.
No.
Barman.
No.
So this is like the corniest, nerdiest, like this is like the nerdiest of nerdcore rappers, and he was.
Is it like a MC Front-a-Lot type thing?
Yeah, but like I would argue that like possibly cornier and more white and more
okay,
more you can tell where I'm going here.
Okay,
but I just heard this guy on a podcast, and he's just like a really he's like the whitest white rapper, just like super nerdy. But he kind of reminded me of a cross between that guy and the emo rapper guy.
Okay. Well, Daniel from Salem had these goofy songs, and then he started taking himself more seriously in music, but then he wasn't really that good at it. And I think the main thing is that he doesn't have a band and he doesn't play any instruments. So he's just a vocalist, right? And he's a good vocalist, and he had good production. And then he also had good videos at the beginning, like those videos that we watched before the show. They were produced well,
decent,
especially for being 10 years old or whatever.
Right.
So he had good video production, and then somewhere something went wrong, and he made this video that was supposed to be like really artistic, and it was very cool looking, but then he did a lot of like really bad cheesy acting in it, and that one just made everybody stop taking him seriously. And he went from 500,000 views to 612 views, like overnight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a steep drop off. That's a plummet.
Yeah. And then he's, very prolific. He's been putting out songs and little freestyle videos and clips and things for this whole time. And then getting less and less views. And which is sad because he is a creative guy.
No, and I feel like it's not, I mean, for what he's doing, it seems like he does it relatively well, but I feel like that style and just emo kind of culture, it's know, like everybody that was into that, they're getting up there in age.
Yeah.
It's not.
And it is kind of having a resurgence right now. Like a lot of emo bands are getting their second run.
Yeah, and they're getting their nostalgia run. You've got the When We Were Young festival going on in Vegas. But I feel like this guy, I mean, like, well, maybe he's part of that subculture. He didn't ascend to the heights of some of these more legitimate bands. So he kind of got caught, right at that cutoff.
He's still back there trying to make it with that sound.
Yeah.
But the only people that are getting away with that sound are bands that were already established in that era.
Like a legacy act, what I mean?
You're only going to see them because of who they are.
Right.
And then their openers, it's always like a new sound. It's the new thing, which Daniel from Salem isn't doing.
No, he's failed to adapt, and you can tell that just kind of by his his appearance. He looks like the guitarist from Fall Out Boy. You know who I'm talking about, right? The one with the eyeliner, Petey Wentz.
Yeah,
I think that's the name. I think that's it. Peter Wentz.
Peter Wentz. And he just didn't pull it off. And he didn't evolve, and then he kind of just turned into this thing that's like, it's like a performer that's dancing for himself, type thing.
Yeah, he probably lives in LA, and I'm guessing he does like Uber or something to support himself during the day, and then by night he's still trying to make this thing happen. So he managed to infiltrate the Grammy.
He went to the
red
Grammys.
Carpet. Did he make it inside the Grammys, or is it just the red carpet?
I think he might have just been in the red carpet area.
I think that's like outside. You know what I mean? So just much like Kanye was able to do, I feel like that would be much easier to infiltrate than the actual ceremony.
So Daniel from Salem, went to the Grammys. He wasn't in Salem anymore. He was in LA. Went to the Grammys.
Yeah, I'm sure he's lived in LA for a while. You can tell.
Approached Post Malone and was like, I want to do a song with you. My name's Daniel from Salem. Post Malone remembered it. He's going to listen to it. He's going to like it. He's going to do a song with them.
I could see that happening.
He's going to make Daniel blow up.
Yeah,
Daniel, this is your time, dude. I'm serious.
I'll preface this by saying that I'm like not a fan of Post Malone's content, really, any of his songs or the actual music that he makes. But like as a person, I feel like Post Malone, he's pretty solid. He seems like a relatively down to earth guy.
Yeah.
That he gets rolled up on by some rando at the Grammys pushing their shit. He might be like authentic enough to actually go check out this guy's music.
And I think that there are some Post Malone songs that I like, and that I get it. Like I get why people are like, Post Malone's great, but then a lot of his stuff is not that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
There are some good. I'll try to put you on to some good Post
Send me
Malone
a couple,
songs.
no more than 3.
Like there's this song where he goes, "White Iver Song."
Yeah, well, I've heard Post Malone.
I know.
I've heard White Iver. I mean, like I've heard his hits. Nothing's resonated with me.
Yeah. So Daniel from Salem was at the Grammys, and I actually want to interview Daniel from Salem. I want to reach out.
It seems like
him to be on the show.
A relative. I feel like that's not setting the bar too high for somebody that we might be. I mean, even though this podcast
I think it's possible.
Is shadow banned, it feels like he might be, reaching a similar plateau to where, like, we're on the same level or not too far.
Yeah.
Far apart.
We agree with you that you're being stifled. Your streams are being siphoned.
So are we. We're being shadow banned and demonetized because of like a decade-old 9/11 meme that was meant to be private.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically dealing with the same type of restraints here as you are, bud. So let's tap in and let's see if we can, you scratch our back and we will interview you.
Yep. All right. Time for our next segment.
Auto parts.
Ow! I was driving by O'Reilly's today.
Yeah.
And on the bridge right there, they were having a protest.
The Mexican citizens of our town, they were out in abundance to protest the Trump tariffs and the ICE deportations and basically everything that's going on in the world of Trump politics right now. Because Trump came in, and well, you do have to admire the him being on the ball and really starting to execute things quickly, which is something like you don't see from politicians too often. It seems like there's, all this red tape and things that go into preventing them from actually executing any of their policies.
Yeah.
Trump came in guns blazing, and he's done. I mean, I don't agree with it, so it's hard for me to justify it, but he's definitely
made a lot of changes.
He made a lot of changes
quick,
straight out the bat, first week.
Mm-hmm. And these ICE deportations have been a hot button issue for the past, week or two. And they have been starting to do protests all over the states. And one happened in our city next to the O'Reillys.
Yeah, no, to the best of our knowledge, this wasn't deliberate. They didn't sync things up with O'Reilly's or get permission from O'Reilly's corporate. No. So we just want to say that O'Reilly's corporate is off the hook here. They had no part of these protests, but that's not to say that they didn't stand with the protesters. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't speak for O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I can only kind of try to, pick what was going on in their brain. Yeah. And in my brain, O'Reilly's firmly stands in the corner. They stand with the protesters, right?
For sure.
We can say that.
And so do I. And when I drove through this area, everybody was honking.
Honking, a lot of flag flying.
Yeah, everybody had their signs.
Both Mexican flags and American flags. Mm-hmm. I want to make that very clear. There was no shortage of American flag representation going on here, and I think that speaks for what these people are asking for. They're not trying to be separatists or say that Mexicans are superior or anything. These are Mexican Americans.
A lot of them are American citizens.
And all of a sudden they're being treated like second-class citizens, literally.
Yeah. And I drove through, everybody was honking, and I remember when the trumpets took the bridge.
Yeah. After Biden won in our area, mm-hmm. I mean, I think this went on all over the place, but there were a lot of very angry Republicans who took to the bridges to protest the Biden win and basically say, "Oh, Trump's still president," yada yada. You've heard all the talking points. Mm-hmm. But
they were getting honks, like the Trumpers were getting honks every once in a while, honk.
And they were out there, semi-daily, and I'm assuming that this will not be the case with these protesters, but there's
this was a one-day thing.
There's no denying
today was the day without a Mexican day or something.
Oh, okay.
They
they called in sick to work. They were
like, sick to work, weren't going to school. And it was like, this is what it would be like if we weren't there type shit.
When they went off, like it looked like more of a party protest.
It was lit. It was positivity.
Like I wanted to go hang out with them. If I hadn't been working or didn't have other things to do, I would have been down to go hang out on the bridge with all these Mexican Americans and protest. Whereas the Trump bridge people, at no point was I ever tempted to pull over. And
we talked about going there and trolling them and bringing our own flag, like a goofy flag.
I think we did, yeah.
But this protest was lit, and the Trumpers, they get a honk every once in a while. And this bridge was lit up.
Yeah, this was honks. Like constant honks, sustained honks, people honking, holding down that horn the entire duration of this bridge. And this is a pretty big bridge.
But you could still see the Trump supporters because they had their windows down and they were screaming and they were flipping everybody off and shit. But there was a guy that was in front of me. So there's hella traffic because of the protest. So I was creeping across the bridge. And there was an old man in front of me, and I recognize him. He works at like a grocery store, I think, and he's like kind of like albino, old. Everything's white, pale.
Very white.
Yeah. And he almost might be borderline autistic. Like not all the way autistic, but kind of something's weird with him,
Yeah.
He ate paint when he was a kid or something.
Yeah.
And he was in front of me the whole time, and he was thumbs down. And
his thumb,
he was, and it was a weird thumb like this. He did this, and then he was like, "You're wasting your time.
What are they wasting
your time?" That's what he kept saying.
You have to, part of me wonders like what their argument for being against this would be, but then another part of me does not want to hear that because I know it's just so
it's just crazy.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to hear,
man, like,
but he was just super negative. Boo, you're wasting your time in front of me. And then I was right behind him, and I was throwing a thumbs up and like a peace sign and waving.
Did you honk?
I was blaring in the back of that guy's head.
I set it off a few. I drove by there like 4 or 5 times today, so I was setting it off.
Yeah, I was especially honking really hard because of that guy. I wanted to bug him, and because I was in a truck, so I was like above him.
Oh,
and just honking right into his car.
Yeah, that's even better.
So, I was like driving by, and I see this like group of people, and there's this little girl that's standing there with her family. She's like 5, and she's holding a sign, and the dude in front of me is like, boo, you're wasting your time. And she looks at him, and she's like confused. She's like trying to like listen to what he's saying or something, you know? And then her family's like flipping him off and like yelling at him and shit. And then she looks over at me, the next car, and I like gave her a thumbs up and then a peace sign, and then she like smiled and gave me a peace sign.
Yeah,
and it was like, how you gonna scream at a little kid?
That's what I'm saying. It's like
that was born here. That's an American citizen.
Yeah. They're
it's
like
crazy.
Like who could be angry for American citizens protesting the rights that they've always had their whole lifetimes that are now being reversed or attempted to being reversed,
and being like, proud of their culture, just like you're proud of your country, they're proud of their country.
Even if you disagreed to the gall that it takes to go and like condemn someone or react negatively, from the safety of your vehicle is just kind of like, I mean. It kind of shows you where we're at, because there are a lot of people that they don't care about fucking the economy. They don't care about all these things that are veiling what they really care about. And at the end of the day, they're just fucking racist.
Yeah, they're just
a
racist.
lot of people
That's
just racist, and they like. You got to, kind of dig off or pull off this facade or this masquerade that they have. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to their core, they're just fucking racist pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more than we all want to admit of people that are just like that. Yeah. They're just fucking racist dickheads. And they're like they know that if they go too far in that direction, they're going to be exposed and everyone's going to hate them. So they kind of, try to toe the line. But at the end of the day, they're just fucking racist, and they're going to support whatever the most racist agenda is that's currently acceptable.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And when we got to the end of the bridge, past the protest, and there was people that were coming up like from the parking lot and going to join the protest with their signs, and there was these 2 little girls that were like 10 years old.
These are children
walking to go meet their family, and he's just glaring at them. Like I could see him in his mirror, and he's like, and he's looking at him, and then he rolls down his window. And I'm like, say something to these kids. Like, fucking yell at these kids. Or in stop traffic. Like, and then I look over, and the car next to me is also looking at him. And then he, like, looks at me, and then we nod at each other. And then...
he's like, yeah.
We're gonna
hop out, and we're going to deport them ourselves. We're going to grab these children, we're going to send them back across the border to Mexico.
He was looking at the racist guy.
Oh, okay.
So he was on my side.
Yeah.
Me and him.
So you guys were going to gang up on this guy.
We're going to gang up on the racist guy. Yeah. Like I was going to get out of the car in traffic.
Yeah, just stop your car
and attack this guy
in the middle of a busy intersection
and start a race war.
Yeah,
like fucking. That's what he wants, But it was crazy to fucking glare at children like that.
I'll be perfectly honest. I've been trying to tune out a lot of the like first couple of weeks of the Trump administration, all the executive orders, as best I can. But, you can only do that to a certain extent. And like, I know that like, I better not start Googling and like reading like news stories, because I'm just going to get really angry. Yeah. But at the same time, you also can't completely run from it. And it's just, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, this is what the majority of Americans wanted.
See, and I thought
like we kind of put ourselves in this own predicament. So it sucks that certain people are going to have to suffer because of that. But like, there were a lot of people that were on the fence that could have made a different decision on election day. And they're like, yeah, but the economy, the egg prices, maybe some of our community is going to suffer or be subjugated to this type of bullshit. But the egg prices, the gas prices, Biden's old, Kamala Harris is dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you could have very easily made a different decision if you were on the fence, and there were a lot of people that were on the fence.
Yeah.
So
we didn't have a great choice. I didn't like Kamala Harris.
Fuck no. This
Definitely
is
not.
Absolutely just as much to blame from the Democratic establishment who constantly presents us with these bullshit options, completely ignoring the fact that Bernie Sanders should have been our president twice now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... So I don't know. I don't want to go too deep off of a political tangent here.
Yeah, we don't want to get political or anything.
I think we kind of have.
I think that some of these, like, at first I thought that the deportations were just like violent criminals that were illegal.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy locally that got arrested. ICE came to town. There were unmarked cars. They arrested this guy.
It seems to be like more broad than that, right?
And this guy was like a drug dealer, human trafficking.
Yeah. You got to get out the bad apples. And I'm not saying there aren't bad apples.
If there's people that are here illegally that are doing human trafficking, deport those people. Like, yes, obviously.
I don't have, I don't work for ICE, so I don't have the criteria or their blueprint for what they're planning on doing. But at the same time, like, it does seem that very quickly, like, we're snowballing to where this is going to affect some innocent people.
Well, it is because I saw a video from that someone made in Mexico, and they have this big, like, detainment camp that they're building in Tijuana that is to house all the deportees that they're expecting to come over that are already starting. And a lot of these people are going to be because during the Biden administration, it was like an open border.
It was.
You go to the border,
Biden really
you shed your
fucked it
ID, you say, I'm John Smith, and then they let you in and
it was kind of
give
a
you a
free-for-all.
court date, you know?
But at the same time, now Trump's talking about converting Guantanamo Bay, which is notoriously a maximum security prison for terrorists.
Yeah.
He's talking about converting that into a holding place for the people that are awaiting deportation, which tells me that, for one, these deportations aren't going to be quick. They're not just, grabbing everybody and taking them back to Mexico across the border. It's going to be a long, strenuous process where essentially these people are in basically like a purgatory where they're essentially prisoners,
separated
until they're taken back to Mexico. It's not like they're going to be back in the streets of Mexico within a day. They're going to be essentially incarcerated for I don't know how long.
Yeah, because they don't have rights because they're not citizens.
So I mean, whole thing's
they built this like detainment center, and a lot of it is going to be because these people that are coming in during like the Biden administration, these lines of people, they're on journeys that last sometimes years. They're traveling across the world.
Yeah, I mean, and
these people are still coming in, but now that the rules have changed, they're hitting a closed wall. They're not getting let in by immigration.
And we also can't like make it sound like everybody that's immigrating to America is Mexican, because they're just using, they're via Mexico, but it's a lot of Haitians. It's a lot of, basically everybody that wants to come to America is doing so through Mexico.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is that these camps that they're building are not just to house people that are being deported from the U.S. to Mexico, but to house people that are traveling through Mexico to get to the U.S. and aren't going to be able to now. So now they're stuck in Mexico, in Tijuana, or that area. So they are building all these centers, and I saw someone that went to that place and was interviewing people that have recently gotten deported. And there was a guy that lived in Salinas, California, and worked in the strawberry fields, and just normal guy, wife, kids, living his life. And then they came and arrested him at 9 a.m. on a Sunday.
On a Sunday
at the fields on the Lord's Day.
The man's out there picking strawberries
so they come
on
to
the Lord's
fields
Day.
Where there's probably multiple people that are legal. And I don't know if they got a bunch of them or if they just got him, but they came and they said that they had a order for deportation for him with his name on it. So it's not just like, hey, where are you from? Let me see your green card. Let me see your ID type shit. It's like, I have this guy that works here and I have an order of deportation and ICE just came and got him. And he was like, I didn't get to call my kids. I didn't get to call my wife.
Yeah.
Now I'm just here in Mexico. I don't know anybody here and I don't know how I'm going to get back to my family.
Yeah. Well,
and it's like, fuck.
It's kind of like, and this is showing you exactly, how bad executive orders, regardless of ICE, and then you gotta feel bad. I mean, I don't know if you feel bad for ICE, but like basically, in what was it, January 19th or whatever, everything changed for this bureau to where like their priorities are completely changed. They're probably not like, prepared. They're probably ill-equipped to go out and do everything that Trump's demanding of them, but they're going out there and now they're having to just round people up. I mean, without, I don't know.
That is crazy.
And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you or I are the most qualified two people to sit here and address immigration and, like the pros and cons of it. All I know is that, like we, along with O'Reilly's Auto Parts, stand with our brothers and sisters that were on the Niblick Bridge today. So, I don't do we put a fist up? Is that?
Wait. Yeah, we got to do it at the end of the O'Reilly's thing.
Auto Parts. So we stand with
you. The three of us, we stand with you. And, a lot of people, my girlfriend is Mexican. I have nieces that are Mexican.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both have dear friends and possibly relatives.
Co-workers.
I mean, at this point, especially in California, it's so blended to where, like, I mean, I don't think there's a California resident that doesn't have some sort of personal relationship with a Mexican American. Yeah. So it's hard, and I can imagine in like the South or like, like places where Minnesota,
where there are no Mexicans.
And they're probably given this, they're fed this Fox News narrative, this Newsmax narrative of, oh, the Mexicans are just coming in and committing crimes and taking. It's like that's not in my day-to-day experience. Like I've been on this planet for, I'm not going to disclose my age, but many years, and I've lived in California where there's lots of Mexicans. I've never.
They're pretty chill.
At any point, has a Mexican being here, has their presence like interfered with your ability to seek out life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
Not at all.
No. I mean, like if anything, I could probably think of more ways that they've benefited like my pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness than they've hindered it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's things like when I go to a grocery store. I like to go to the one in the next town over because there's more Mexicans that shop there, and I don't have to talk to these people. I don't have to run into people.
Talking to white
have
people's
conversations.
The worst.
Yeah, they know you. They know your mom.
100%.
It's like some whole thing.
Yeah.
I want Mexican people. I say, excuse me. They say, yes, mijo. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
that's what I want. So
if anything, like I'm leaning towards like, bring some more Mexicans to town. Yeah. Like, and that's not in any sort of racist way, just because
food?
like I enjoy the food.
The food.
I mean, like, is there any city in the United States that could not benefit from like more Mexican food restaurants? No.
And I've seen this Mexican food that they have in Minnesota that Asian people cook. So it's Asian people that run a Mexican restaurant.
Shit out of here.
It's the worst.
Get that shit
it's so
out of
bad.
here.
It's not Mexican food at all. There's no spice. There's no seasoning. There's no nothing. And we have the realest of the real Mexican food, and it's all thanks to Mexican Americans, man.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that without them.
Absolutely.
Have you ever heard of white people taco night?
Oh, man. It's like, well, you know what? We're not going to disrespect white people tacos, okay? Because they have their merit. Okay. They have their merit in
but what
my
if
household.
That's all we had?
But no, that's not when I go out of my house. Those aren't the tacos that I'm seeking.
Okay, yeah.
Like, do I make white people tacos at my house? Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when I'm seeking out Mexican food from a restaurant, I want authenticity and not Ortega shells.
Yeah, true. But that's something that we wouldn't have without them, and we stand with them. And that protest was lit. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Good times.
Now, speaking of oppressed people, I want to talk about something that I learned about recently, which is the Uncensored Library. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
No. Huh. So I have like a... Is that real? I put in a one full battery and one half drained battery into the Zoom recorder. Because you remember that battery that had a dent in it?
Yeah.
So there's a battery that we got that had a dent in it, and I didn't want to use it. I was afraid to use it. So I put in a new battery and an old battery, and I just went to go make sure that we still have battery left. And we're almost at an hour. Is that true?
It feels like an hour, and weird. I gotta pee. So
you gotta pee.
Like,
do you wanna pee before we get into the Uncensored Library?
No, we're going to
hold
run
it.
that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll hold it.
So the Uncensored Library is a map that is free to download and play in Minecraft. Have you ever played Minecraft?
No, but my kids play Minecraft all the time.
Okay, so I've never played Minecraft. Never been interested in it. Never. I get it. You know. You mine, you craft.
Yeah,
we got it.
I've never been a big fan of the games that like don't graphically move forward. It's almost like why is this thing like some sort of phenomenon with today's kids, and it just looks like like something graphically looks like something that was made in like 1999, 2000 at best. It's like no, like this is sloppy to me. They're just it's like a cash grab. I want good graphics. I don't want something that's like square.
I want realistic 3D.
Yeah. This looks like a Nintendo, maybe even not even Nintendo 64, like a Super Nintendo graphically like quality like Zelda game or something to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just not into that.
It is very, very bad quality. But people can, do their things. They got sheep.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit you can do in there. There's a lot of mods. You can get like weird characters in there somehow. It's I couldn't.
So people make their mods. People make their characters. They let people download their worlds. And go into them, and then these worlds can get bigger and bigger and more dense and more extreme.
I mean, it's almost never ending. This
never ending
shit that you can do in there, but at the same time, it doesn't look cool. So I'm just like,
true. Now this works because you know how in a video game you go to a thing, you click A, and it gives you pop up, and it gives you the text. You read what the princess says or whatever, right? So this world really works on that, and the Uncensored Library is a Minecraft world that was created as an attempt to circumvent censorship in countries where freedom of press is not available. The library contains banned reporting from Mexico, Russia, Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Brazil, Belarus, Iran, and others. An entire wing is given to each country, each containing several banned articles. The library was released in March 12th, 2020.
So basically what you're saying is you can go into this library and circumvent certain countries' restrictions on press.
Yeah.
So you can go into Minecraft and see unrestricted news from.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
And they hid all of this information, which people should have the freedom to have, and in a lot of countries they don't have that freedom.
Certainly not. I mean, like I don't even know how much longer we will have it.
True. And they hid this library inside of this Minecraft world so that people with the know-how could just get a computer, log into Minecraft, go in there, and then read all of these banned texts and get all of this information. And it's crazy.
That is crazy.
And it was made by a guy. It wasn't made by AI. This was one of the last coolest creations made by a guy.
That sounds like something that a guy would do. I mean, possibly even a woman too. Honestly, I'm not going to discount
by
that.
guy, I mean person. I should have just said person. I should probably take that out.
Yeah.
Put it back with person.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have to make sure that my kids don't have access to that, though, because I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old who play this Minecraft shit all the time.
You don't want to give them freedom of information?
I don't want them going in there and, accessing texts that may not be available in Soviet Russia or North Korea. It's like,
Well, what do they play on?
Wait a second. They play on PS5.
Oh, okay.
Or they play on Switch also, but...
Yeah, you're good. It's only on PC.
Oh, okay, yeah. Who's giving their child a PC? Nobody.
Well,
I mean,
people in third world countries and Belarus.
Yeah, sure.
They got PCs.
Right.
They don't have Xbox 5s or whatever. They got PCs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So, that is. I just found that fascinating. That was crazy.
That is pretty crazy. It's a good use of mine because I don't know what else you use it for.
It's like some spy shit.
That's the best use of the Minecraft platform that I've heard of so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you've got people in there that one thing is that I've seen my kids watching is YouTubers playing Minecraft doing parkour. So they're just creating parkour obstacle courses and then trying to, jump from obstacle to obstacle. And that seems to be a thing. But as far as making a society have access to news and world information that's a lot cooler. That's a lot cooler than parkour. Way cooler.
But then again, I watch GTA videos on YouTube of guys jumping from building to building on a motorcycle.
Okay. Yeah, it's
it's kind of the same thing, right?
Thing, yeah.
Essentially the same thing.
Basically.
I'm just a grown 5-year-old that's watching a guy playing a video game that I could easily play. So the Uncensored library is late. We're going to try to get some of our show transcripts in there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I'm not sure how we would do that, but that sounds like something that
I could figure it out. We can get the one that executes.
That does it all.
Commands.
So we just say, hey, make our show available in the Minecraft universe. And man, if we get to that to where it can just
we're getting close. Work. We're getting close to that.
Man, so much time will be saved.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be so fucking cool.
Sick.
We could give it that exact prompt.
But then as that grows, people's ability to use that against us will also grow. So it's going to be...
Use what against us? The Uncensored library?
No, I'm thinking they're going to be they're going to be able to plug this prompt into AI and be find a way to make sure that the Natural Habitat podcast does not grow or gain any traction.
Well, it's all about who says it first. Who smelt it, dealt it. Because we'll just have to work it into our prompts and also build a fail-safe in case somebody tries to build a prompt against us.
We're going to have to, it's going to be a battle of the fail-safes.
Yeah.
Whoever has more fail-safes, because it's going to eventually come down to that. So
yeah. So we're going to have to put in a lot of fail-safes.
Damn it.
Oh, fuck. So that's the whole thing is that it takes, 15 hours to write out this piece of code. Or you can have AI do it in 30 seconds.
You gotta put in so many fail safes.
It's going to take you 15 hours to be all the fail safes. You might as well just write the code.
Yeah, time wise.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
But then again, we'll figure out the thing with the Google computer that used the parallel universes.
Yeah. Yep.
So once we figure that out, then we can cut it down again. And we'll be good.
We're running out of time here, but there's also some stuff going on between United States and Canada.
Oh, we're going to take Canada.
What?
We're gonna take Canada.
Yeah. Supposedly we're going to take Canada.
Yeah.
Free candy. Let us know, bud. All the buzz, the word on our streets is that we're coming to take Canada within the next couple months, that we're going to overthrow your government. And I'm not saying that I'm on board with that, but I just want to know what's...
We would love to know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, if you could put your ear to the streets up there in Canada and let us know, what's... Because, it's not looking good for you guys at this point, right? So...
We would love for you to record a video where you explain to us how the Canadian people are feeling about this merger.
I assume you don't have any sort of military or fighting force that could possibly stop us from taking Canada. So if you guys just kind of accepted, because what I think you should probably do is just kind of like picture a world and where Canada is the 51st state, and you have all of the same rights that Mikey and I do, and we're all, we're all in one big country together, bud. So let us know your feelings on that, and maybe you could, bud. Yeah, maybe you could send us a report on the, kind of check the pulse on the way Canada's feeling right now, because the mainstream news is making it sound like Winnipeg is going to fall within the next couple of days.
Yeah. So if we could get a report from you that has like a talking head shot of you giving your spiel about Canada, and then also maybe interview a couple friends and family members.
Trudeau, if you could get one, like a hockey player, Celine Dion, old time hockey, really whatever famous Canadian you could.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker,
whoever you know. Yeah. So interview them and then just hit us with that footage, bud. That'd be amazing.
That'd be great. And hopefully we'll have that next week, and we will see you next week on the National I didn't.
We'll see you in court.
We'll see you in court. We love you. Bye.
I don't drink soda.